Next up is Bheginkosi Hamilton Cele. They call him Celine Dion these days, by the way. As after
Wait, why?
They call him Celine Dion because he was singing like a canary, if one may say, at the ad hoc committee in isiZulu city. Engazi ukuthi uvele wathatha itrack walifaka inhlabathi wazolithela kwi-parish likaSenzo Mchunu, basically meaning that it's a war of the elders of KwaZulu-Natal that seemingly are political nemesis in the ANC, which is now translated into a battle within the police service between Bheginkosi Hamilton, they call him Celine Dion these days, but more seriously, he also served as National Police Commissioner from 2009 until his removal in 2012. Cele returned as Minister from 2019 until 2024. Among the other allegations, Mkhwanazi claimed that Cele sent his bank details to controversial businessman Vus'umuzi Cat Matlala. Matlala is implicated in the 2 billion rand tender fraud scandal at the Tembisa Hospital. He is currently facing charges related to an attempted hit on his girlfriend and has been denied bail on several occasions. In a surprising move, when Cele appeared before Parliament's ad hoc committee last week, Mkhwanazi withdrew his allegations about Cele possibly receiving money from Matlala. Mkhwanazi has since been ordered to explain the withdrawal and called to do so. And he recently today at a press briefing in KwaZulu-Natal, when they were launching the action plan to curbing violence and to protecting KwaZulu-Natal during this Easter break, he did say that he will go back to the ad hoc committee. You did see the likes of Advocate Glenis Breitenbach in Parliament and others within the African National Congress, Kusela Tigom Tumseni Ntuli, saying that it would be only fair for General Mkhwanazi to come back to Parliament to correct his affidavit that he disposed on oath and speak about where he got these allegations of Bheki Cele getting those monies and benefiting from Vus'umuzi Cat Matlala, which he has since now withdrawn. However, Cele admitted that after public office, he accepted freebies. He accepted freebies from Matlala, including staying at the businessman's penthouse in Pretoria. He says he stepped about 3 times, unprovoked, unasked, just asked if he's been there, and he said 2-3 times. And interestingly, if you look at these allegations, the man Bheki Cele says introduced him to Vus'umuzi Cat Matlala. Do you remember an individual who was shot in Sandton next to a particular restaurant, one mentioned for free advertising? And who was also involved in a gun shooting incident in a nightclub around those areas of Sandton. That is the individual who was later shot dead in Sandton, who introduced Bheki Cele to Vus'umuzi Cat Matlala at that particular lavish hotel in Umhlanga, which I will not mention for free advertising as well, who introduced Bheki Cele to Vus'umuzi Cat Matlala. So an alleged criminal introduces another alleged criminal to the police minister. So those who know that particular businessman, criminal who was shot dead in Sandton next to the former, one of the commercial radio stations within Gauteng, who have since moved from that particular building. Opposite that building, there are a number of nightclubs within that particular area. They would know who that individual is and what's the connection of that individual as well, allegedly, to Minister Bheginkosi, or former Minister Bheginkosi, the man of the hour, Senzo Macingwane Mchunu, who took over from Cele in 2024. 2 weeks after Cele's tenure, he has since been police minister for a year until he was placed on special leave in July this year. He is accused of having unethical relationships with Vus'umuzi Cat Matlala and Brown Mokgotsi. Brown Mokgotsi is described as a middleman moving payments between police officials and alleged criminals like Cat Matlala. And interestingly, people call Brown Mokgotsi a businessman. I don't know which business he runs, but in my little understanding, he's just a fixer within the police circles for certain alleged criminals like Vus'umuzi Cat Matlala. He is accused of funneling information from the minister, Senzo Mchunu, to Vus'umuzi Cat Matlala. You've seen on a number of occasions where Vusumuzi Ket Matlala in the communications has complained that he's forever giving and getting nothing back. And today, Bongiwe, one of the witnesses in the Madlanga Commission, witness C, basically spoke about how this particular individual, Vusumuzi Ket Matlala, said that he funded or was going to fund the campaign of Senzo Mchunu to be the ANC's president in the next conference of the ANC in 2027. When he was arrested, Lord knows how potholes did country duty in the past few weeks, getting these particular criminals to be arrested. And he also sang like a canary, name-dropping Ria Piecha, former police commissioner. She has since come to deny it in a statement that is dated 2024 with a lot of spelling errors. One wonders why they would date a statement of today back to 2024. It just speaks about the hasteness that is there and the lack of direction and how people are scared with these revelations currently coming out. We've also had him speak about how he funds top police brass officials. You've seen how General Shibiri, when he got a promotion, it's alleged that he paid a company 80,000 rands in order to congratulate him for his promotion. Allegations of Impalas being bought for Deputy National Commissioner Shadrack Sibia, allegations of monies being preferred to be brought in cash to General Sibia. So Vusumuzi Ket Matlala is at the center of alleged capture of the police. It is alleged that Matlala paid for a special dinner in Mchulu's honor, organized by Mkhotsi. Mchunu admits he knows Mkhotsi, but insists they are not associates, and he denies any Matlala-sponsored dinner. You'd also remember, Bongiwe, today they spoke about how Vusumuzi Ket Matlala paid for accommodation, entertainment, and flights to the ANC's January 8th statement in the Western Cape, in Cape Town, in Khayelitsha. And those are some of the issues that are also being ventilated, which Senzo Mchunu has come out to deny. One wonders if these payments were immediate or not immediate, since immediate to some ministers means now, not now, so there's a bit of confusion there. Regarding the letter Mchunu wrote to order the shutdown of the PKTT, which is what fueled Mkhwanazi to go out in public in the first place, Mchunu says his decision was not politically motivated, but rather budget-driven. You'd also remember Castle Matale, the Deputy Minister of Police. He spoke at the ad hoc committee saying that he would have supported the disbandment of the PKTT for a broader unit that looks at broader killings and criminality across the country, Riverine, Gauteng, and other parts of Gauteng that are faced with particular gang violence. You go to other colored communities within this particular province of Gauteng. You go to Cape Town as well, that is faced with gang violence. Cape Town perceived the crime capital of the country, even with the words of the breadwinner of the country, who said in the Oval Office that Cape Town is the most crime-riddled city and province within our country. So in recent months, the line between state and criminal networks has been blurred. With ministers accused of links to organized crime, public trust is collapsing. The only way back is evidence-led accountability and prosecution where crimes are proven. This should be paired with clear reform timelines and protection for witnesses and whistleblowers. If inquiries in spin or quiet deals, we've left with a police service that the public no longer trusts. In the meantime, witnesses continue to put pieces together at the Madlanga Commission and before Parliament's ad hoc committee in Parliament, Bongo. But it's going to be really interesting looking at the revelations that come out in the ad hoc committee. You've had ministers, you've had senior senior leaders within political parties, Julius Malema, Bheki Cele, Fikile Mbalula, at a funeral of an alleged, now late, mafia boss of this grouping that has captured Gauteng, which includes Vusumuzi Ket Matlala, Hangwani Maumela, and a number of police generals within the top brass in Gauteng. At that funeral of the late taxi boss Mswazi. And that just tells you of that dark link between power, the underworld, and those within public office, within political parties across the board, Bongiwe, even though there is no evidence of wrongdoing, because you would never truly know if you meet someone what they're truly involved in. But as they say, through Bheki Nkosi Hamilton, Celine Dion Cele, there were more guns than flowers at that funeral. And just today, one of the chairpersons of the taxi industry, they just launched a BRT in Johannesburg
Yeah.
to work around Alexandra to Sandton and other